We had John Cena and Bobby Lashley teaming up for the first time since 2007, we were told, when they took on Randy Orton and Booker T on an episode of Raw. Here they took on Kevin Owens and Elias in what was, a lot like this show, a glorified house show main event. Any house show tag team main event you have ever seen, that's exactly what this was. Bobby Lashley took almost all of the offense at the hands of Owens and Elias. It was fine. It wasn't a bad match, just extremely predictable and hardly exciting. Finally, Lashley tags into John Cena. Cena hits all of his signature spots, takes out Elias, takes out Owens, hits the AA on Elias before hitting the sixth move of doom, is what he called it. The Chinese, whatever the fuck it is. I know he debuted it in like Shanghai not too long ago when he was over there for a live event or in Japan or something like that. I think he's in China right now. I think it was a Japanese live event that he debuted the move at about a month ago. But yeah, that's what Cena won with. And then he cut a promo afterwards talking about, I don't know what my future holds. I'm always happy to be here. You know, one of your typical promos that would send the crowd home happy despite the fact this took place in the middle of the show. But a pretty pedestrian John Cena promo. The weird thing was that, again, he kind of played up the fact that he does not know what the future holds for him. Where does he go from here? I don't know when he'll be back. Well, sure enough, it was announced the next night on Raw. He's going to be taking part in the upcoming World Cup tournament in Saudi Arabia. So the promo is pretty pointless in retrospect. It's like, okay, he's playing up the speculation and the rumors that Cena might be done. He might be retiring from the ring and being phased down, which is true. I mean, prior to this pay-per-view, Cena had not been seen on WWE TV since the Greatest Royal Rumble back in April. And even that was, you know, one of these type of shows. It was a glorified house show. Beyond that, Cena has not been seen since WrestleMania, when he lost to The Undertaker in 2 minutes. So, really, Cena has not been involved in any meaningful storyline since March. Since April or March, which is pretty crazy, but it's true. And now, again, that will not change come November, although he will be on the Crown Jewel card competing in the World Cup tournament. It's not like he's back full-time feuding with Elias or feuding with Braun Strowman. He's just back for the World Cup tournament. I don't expect him to be brought back in a full-time capacity anytime soon. Probably not until WrestleMania season, which honestly, in my opinion, that's fine by me. If there's no reason for Cena to be brought back, if there's no money feud to be had with him right now, there should be no rush in bringing him back. I mean, more star power the better. But Raw and SmackDown especially do not need John Cena. Cena will not solve their current problems. Raw has a lot more problems than needing John Cena. The fact that the show largely revolves around the Shield, Strowman, Ziggler, McIntyre saga, and nothing else is a bit of an issue. And yeah, we have the Shawn Michaels, Triple H, Undertaker, Kane shit going on right now, but that stuff likely will not last beyond Crown Jewel in November. So I don't even really count that. The Ronda, the Nikki Bella stuff, you know, I'll get to Raw in a second, but there's just not a lot on the show right now to sink your teeth into, worth getting invested in. There's just a lot that's just kind of there. But anyway, so I thought the match was okay. Cena's promo was pretty pointless. But yeah, to get back to my original point, that who else do you have Cena feud with? Like, that's the question right now with Cena. It's like, the next program that he's brought back for, I would hope is worth his time and worth everyone else's time. Because his last run with the company was not exactly stellar. He was back for a few months. He came back for the Royal Rumble season through WrestleMania. He failed to win the Universal Championship. He failed to win the WWE Championship. So yeah, he put a lot of people over, and that's great, and I'm happy he's doing that. He put over Nakamura at one point. He put over Roman Reigns at one point. But it was a short-lived program. You can't go back to Roman and Cena. What, to have Cena beat Roman Reigns? What a waste. You going to bring back Cena to feud with The Undertaker again, going to WrestleMania 35? No thanks. To have Cena beat Undertaker and have Taker lose for a third time at WrestleMania? Again, who gives a shit? At this point, what does that even mean? To beat The Undertaker at WrestleMania at this point means nothing. Maybe if he only lost once and then Roman beating him for a second time would mean something, but the fallout was atrocious. The aftermath was atrocious. Roman does not mean any more now than he did 2-3 years ago before he beat Taker at WrestleMania, because they have done nothing to make him feel special. That really should have launched him into the stratosphere of superstardom when it came to feeling like a larger-than-life superstar. And Roman does a good job of that, more so than almost anyone else in the roster, regardless of what you think of his in-ring work and his mic skills and etc., etc. But they just doesn't feel special. WWE has done a poor job of making stars, Roman included. Because at this point, I don't want to call him damaged goods, because he's obviously still a very valuable asset to the company. But he's not the star that he should be, is what I'm trying to say. If they had easily just turned him heel a few years ago before turning him back babyface, we likely would not be in this predicament that we are in right now. Because right now, he's just a guy. He's the Universal Champion, but he's just a fucking guy. He's not bad, but he's no different than Seth Rollins or Dean Ambrose or even AJ Styles or Samoa Joe. These are all people that, despite being very, very good, do not feel special in the slightest. And Cena, I don't know why I went off on that tangent, but I think with Cena, it's like, to bring him back to, what, beat or lose to Finn Balor? Like, is that really going to do anyone any favors at this point? Yeah, maybe a few years ago, I think for AJ did wonders. After AJ Styles beat Cena twice, including once clean at SummerSlam, that did AJ a hell of a lot of good. Going on to become WWE Champion and reign as champion, be the face of SmackDown for the next few months before Cena came back and got his win back over AJ and won the championship. Yeah, that was a bit arguable. I'm not saying Cena should not have won the WWE Championship for a 16th time. The fashion in which it happened was pretty shitty. I mean, the match was amazing, him and AJ at the Rumble, but he dropped the championship 2 weeks later, like it never even really happened. And ever since then, Cena's been involved in nothing newsworthy at all. What, feuding with Rusev again? That was a feud that fucking sank. No one gave a shit. Feuding with Baron Corbin for a cup of coffee? That did nothing to benefit anyone. If anything, it buried Baron Corbin even more than he was before that. When Corbin lost the Money in the Bank briefcase, thanks to John Cena. Losing at SummerSlam, thanks to John Cena. So this is not a Cena rant, but I'm just saying, like, what else do you bring him back for, aside from the occasional one-off at shows like the Super Showdown or the Crown Jewel? What else is there left for him to do? Aside from chasing the World Championship, becoming Universal Champion for the first time, again, been there, done that with Cena and Roman. Maybe they are waiting for someone else to take over from Roman so they can do that feud or do that storyline with Cena chasing his 17th title. I don't know, because right now there's no one on either roster that screams out to me as an obvious opponent for Cena at any point in the foreseeable future. Roman, been there, done that. Dean, maybe Dean. I always thought a Cena's Dean feud would have been cool a few years ago when they were kind of shooting on each other on Talking Smack. I thought that was some of the best work of Cena's career and Ambrose's career, and then it went nowhere. I thought they might do it at Survivor Series, but I don't know. Ambrose just kind of fell off the face of the earth until coming to Raw and reuniting with The Shield. On SmackDown, he kind of fell off the face of the earth after feuding with AJ in the fall of 2016. So Cena and Ambrose never really transpired. Cena and Rollins, been there, done that. Cena and Wyatt, where the fuck is Bray Wyatt? But regardless, been there, done that. Rusev, been there, done that. Randy Orton, been there, done that. AJ, been there, done that multiple times. I don't know. I just feel like with Cena, it's just, I don't know, there's really no obvious opponent for him at this point in time. Taker made sense 5 years ago, 10 years ago. They tried to do it earlier this year, and they did what they did because they knew they couldn't have a great match, or at least the caliber of a match that they probably could have had a long time ago. But at this point, I don't know what's next for John Cena. I really don't. I know he's coming back for the World Cup. He's obviously not winning. I would hope not. But after that, look, if he comes back for a Survivor Series or competing in the Rumble again, which he's done a million times, beyond that, is there really anything left for Cena to do? Like, okay, you know what? I'll say this. A Cena-Samoa Joe feud would be pretty cool. That's a feud that we have not yet seen before. I don't know how much it would mean at this point, because Joe has now lost to AJ multiple times and has failed to win the both Universal and WWE Championships multiple fucking times. That's the only opponent from the active roster right now that I would want to see Cena face, is Samoa Joe. Beyond that, I honestly could not care about Cena coming back to do another full-on program with a member of the current roster or someone from the old age, from the old guard, like a Taker or a Triple H or a fucking Brock Lesnar or whoever. I don't know. I think a Cena-Joe feud would be cool, but other than that, I would just keep Cena relegated to these international glorified house shows.